Hi guys, so today we're going to have a conversation with my trainer Shanai.
Shanai.
We've been wanting to do this for a while now, and recently Shanai, you turned 52, so happy birthday.
You make me feel old.
No, not at all, not by the way you look. So
Yes.
how do you feel at 52?
Oh, damn, I feel good. I feel good. I feel awesome. I don't even feel like I turned 52 this year, but I thank God for such a long life that I've experienced so far, and I'm very glad for people like you for the birthday present, though it was a cake, which is not a healthy one. But anyway, I enjoyed it. Once in a while, you need to indulge in such things. So, but I turned 52 years, and I feel awesome. I feel good, and fitness-wise, I even feel younger than that. I feel like a 26-year-old, and I've been on this journey for a long time. I've been doing this since 2000.
So how long has it been? Over 24 years?
24 years. So 24, yeah, from 2000 up to now 24. But prior to that, see,
Yeah.
this is where we come in. Prior to that, I started when I was 28 years old to be really, really consistent with it. It's like not even missing a single day in a week. I normally train for 6 days in a week, and I rest on a Sunday for religious purposes. And also, everyone needs a day to be off from training so that your body recovers. But I started when I was 28 years old.
Okay,
which is a bit late.
Sorry?
Which is a bit
That was my next question,
Yes.
actually. Like, do you think there is a particular age to start, and what do you think is early, too early? Is there too late, or is there a right age at all?
I think it depends on the upbringing of a person. I started late because I was brought up in an environment where my parents themselves, they were not into fitness at all. Zero. Even up to this moment, my mother and father, they don't even know the inside of a gym. But I have been to the pinnacle of fitness training, pinnacle of fitness competitions in my country, but my parents, they have no idea what I do. So, I mean, you can imagine from such a background, I was never introduced into this, but luckily, especially just talking about that, talking about your kids, just let's talk about that. Your kids, they have started early. You actually are bringing them to the gym right now. What
Yes.
made you bring them to the gym right now?
So my older one is 10,
Yes.
and somehow, he's been very active, and I wanted to direct his energy in the right place. That was one thing. And he saw some calisthenics, videos and stuff, and he was like, he wants to do it, right? So the regular stuff like swimming and other things they're doing in school, they have their activities. But when he said he wanted to do calisthenics, I thought I would get him to the gym, and he was so excited about it, and I realized that the workouts are actually helping him kind of in the other activities that he's doing in school, which is great, like building strength, stamina, and I see that it's kind of shaping him to be a more disciplined person.
Exactly.
Because he needs to show up, right? And for children, it's so hard. In a school, when they're in school, it's okay, it's easy, the teachers are there. But outside, when they have to show up again and again, and it requires a lot of discipline to have structure. So I thought, it's not just about how they're going to look physically or how they're going to feel.
And let me just, sorry for just chipping in there.
Sure.
I think that's the best thing that you've done for your kids. I wish everyone can actually do that, because you see, we teach our kids, they model themselves around us. That's why maybe I started late, because I never saw that in my upbringing. My parents were never into that. But if I had parents who were actually maybe going to the gym,
Yeah.
Maybe doing running, doing anything that is physical, would have actually maybe started earlier. Now, the difference between starting early and late, just let's give an example. Insurance. Everyone who has an insurance, if you're taking an insurance the very day that you start working, that very first salary, that very first check, you pay your insurance.
Yeah.
Let's say you're 21 years old.
Yeah.
Your premiums are going to be very, very, very low, because they know you're going to be in this for a long period of time. By the time you retire, 60 years, maybe 50 years, that's a long time, so you can spread your risk over a long period of time. Now imagine me starting my insurance right now at 52 years old. What is this company going to say? You're only maybe going to be there for like 5-8 years. So my premiums are going to be very steep, very high.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So the same thing applies to fitness. If now your kids, they don't have to do so much, because they're starting so early, so they're going to do as little as possible
Yeah.
just to stay fit and to sustain it for a long period of time, because they started early, they start small,
Yeah.
and they can progress slowly
Yeah.
and actually advance, and also basically you're teaching the good habits from the get-go, and they won't stray away from it.
Absolutely.
So I would suggest people they start early training so that you don't really have to punish yourself. Because if now imagine someone who's coming to the gym right now at 50 years, 52 years old, and trying to stay fit. Apart from the physical degradation of the muscles themselves, or
Yeah.
up to now, because muscle is elastic. As we get older,
Yeah.
we lose that elasticity. So it's going to take so much effort for you just to get going. One and two.
Yeah.
Now that you want to stay fit, but you're starting from a very deconditioned phase, which means you're going to spend more time
Yeah.
to try to get as fit as the next guy who started when he was 30. So, I mean, just for argument's sake, I can be doing an hour in the gym. Maybe this guy is going to do an extra few minutes or an extra hour. He does this, he does that, so that he can stay at that sensible level of fitness that I am at right now. So the earlier you start, the less taxing it is for you, and the less investment that you have to put into it, because you just need an hour a day
Yeah.
and you go home.
I absolutely agree. I mean, I started at 38. I'm 40 now. It's just been 2 years. So when me and my son were training together, his progress is so much more faster. It's so hard for me to fight the way my body has been all these 38 years, you know. Sometimes I'm lazy, sometimes it's just my stamina isn't there. Though I've been working out for 2 years, of course it's much better than it was. At least I started, and I think I'm glad, and this is what people think, right? There's a certain age to start, there's, you know,
And
it's
never
this is what I want to
too-
kind
it's
of
never-
ask,
it's
you
never,
know.
It's never too late.
Yeah,
Actually,
exactly.
It's never too late.
Yeah.
I even looking at my mother right now, she must be, God bless her, she must be around 70 years, I guess, and my father a little bit older than that. If
Yeah.
they tell me, you know, son, let's go to the gym, I won't deny them that opportunity.
Oh, really?
I won't, because you see, muscle is the only organ in the body
Yeah.
that determines the life of your years on this earth. Your duration on this earth is mainly determined by your muscles. Imagine this, when you're going to stand up here, you're going to use muscles. to
Yeah.
stand up, isn't it?
Yeah.
When I'm going to open doors, I'm going to use muscles. Now imagine when you're a kid, how easy it was for us to do such tasks. As we get older,
Yeah.
it becomes harder. When you're a kid, you're just crawling on your fours. Now you're leaning on certain things. Maybe you're just leaning on, maybe with your 2 legs. Now you're on 3 stands.
Yeah.
The next thing you're walking,
Yeah.
you're running. Now you're on 2 legs. Now us, we are on 2 legs at the moment.
Yeah.
The next thing you're going to hold a stick, a walking stick. Now that's on 3. When it even gets tougher, you're on the floor seated because you can't sit up on a chair. Now you're on all fours just to get up from the floor. So we age and get younger as we get older in terms of our physical manifestation. So if the muscle is an organ for longevity, why are we really not trying to maintain and make it as strong as possible so that we can live longer? Let me just give you a fact, a statistic. Harvard alumni, they did a study that for every hour
Yeah.
that you train in the gym, you increase your lifespan by 3 years.
Oh, I've come across that
Come
one.
the statistic,
Yeah,
right?
but you know, we kind of come across it and you kind of just ignore it. And there are a lot of people who come across these facts, right? But I think people don't want to see it,
Now,
or they don't want to kind of accept it.
Yeah,
or...
you know, common sense normally is boring. People don't want
Yeah.
to, you'll be like, okay, it makes sense, but
Yeah.
it's boring. But let's do the calculations.
Yeah,
Just imagine someone who's been training for 30 years.
yeah,
So for every 1 day of those 30 years that he has been training, let's just for argument's sake, for 5 days in a week,
yeah,
1 hour,
Yeah.
that's 5 hours,
yeah.
times 52 weeks in a year,
Say it.
260,
Yeah,
260 hours, times
Yeah.
30.
yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot. I can't even do the
Seven-
math, but
That's like 700,
Yeah.
7,800 now.
how many years
How
you're
many,
adding, you
exactly,
know,
so
like-
how many years are you, now it doesn't sound much, maybe you're adding about 2 years extra,
Yeah,
2 to 3 years extra to your life.
yeah,
But now, at the end of your day, on your bedside, given a choice, God comes to you. I mean, for those who believe, I'm a believer. God comes to you and says, you have 2 choices. I'm going to give you those extra 2 hours, extra 2 years to your life
Yeah.
that you've been working out, and I'm going to give you the extra 2 million because you decided to spend most of your time chasing money.
Yeah.
What are you going to pick?
I'm going to pick the extra 2 years.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. Now, in that extra 2 years, one, you can spend more time with your loved ones,
Yeah.
your grandkids,
Yeah.
your kids,
Yeah.
and two, if God blessed you as well, you can still make that extra 2 million.
Yeah, and being fit and healthy. Like my thing is just being at that age.
Exactly.
I can't imagine, I'm 40 now and being your age and the kind of stuff you do. I mean, you're doing a lot more than I am. So definitely here, it's not about the age, right? Someone can be older than me and doing a lot more because they've put in those number of years. And that's exactly why I'm starting my kids early. So by the time they're my age, I don't know what level of, workouts they'll be doing.
And
I
it's
think
not like
that's
it's not like you're going to, we try to expose our children to as many things as possible, right?
Absolutely.
They do calisthenics, they play football, they do swimming.
Yeah.
You're just hoping one of these things they will gravitate towards because maybe they have a passion for it.
Yeah.
So why not do that for your kids so that at least they have that experience, that exposure. If you don't expose them to this, they will never know.
Yeah.
And by the time they know, it's too late. Though it's never late to start anything in life, but they will just do it at a pace that is sustainable and not taxing inside. Talking about a healthy life, we are talking about muscle being an organ for longevity. If I'm struggling to play with my grandkids when I get old, where's the fun in that? If I'm sick, because now, for example, insulin receptors, this is something that I came across on TikTok, which is very informative, by the way. They were saying that the muscle is all the insulin receptors. Now we know insulin is the hormone that is responsible for metabolism, especially of fat, of sugar or carbohydrates in your body. They basically transport the sugar into your cells, then it's metabolized to give you energy. Now, the more muscle that you have, the more insulin, which means you can burn more energy. So if you're losing muscle because you're getting old, which means that your insulin receptors are also decreasing. So insulin sensitivity also is going for a toss. Then now the problem is you can't metabolize your sugars. Then you start having some food-related illnesses like your diabetes, metabolic disorders, obesity. Now we are going to spend more time to try to stay and maintain a healthy weight. So that weight management, medical pills, sickness, and all that. So I don't know, it's just that there are so many things which are not positive just because someone is not trained.
That's true, and I think the pills and stuff is such an easy way out. And I also think, once you're hardwired, you're starting off late, and when you realize these things, it's so difficult to get over your old habits, your old belief systems, and I think this is what it is. It's so hard. Like we always talk about, the most difficult thing to break is a mindset, right? So I think breaking those beliefs, I think that's the purpose of why we're having this conversation today.
Exactly. So it's if I started early, like what your kids did, which I'm very grateful for. If they start early, they learn to stay fit, they learn the healthy habits, they learn the healthy nutritional habits. So now it will be very difficult to unlearn such things as they get older. So you'll find that they always gravitate to those areas even when they are old in life. But also when you start late, it's very difficult because, let's say, old dogs, it's very difficult to teach old dogs new tricks. For me to teach you, like as someone who's 50 or 60 years, now let's start eating this way. When you've been eating your own way for the past 60 years, it's going to be hard.
It's
Even to bring you to the gym, let's do this, let's do this, let's do that. It's going to be hard, not only because you have lost your fitness because of muscle loss. It's going to be difficult to basically perform those tasks in the gym. So I would suggest anyone talking about when to start, the earlier the better you start. Look, and it's never too early because I have an experience where you have the Williams thesis talking about Tiger Woods. These guys, when you look at their biography, when they were 3, 4 years, 5 years old, that's when their parents bought them a racket, a golf club, and people think that's abuse. But look at them now. Where are they in their lives? The pinnacle of their sporting industry. So everyone can start early, and whatever our parents push us to do, we'll basically be very good at that.
I agree. And also, what would your advice be for someone who is, say, around your age, say 52, and they want to start right now, but they keep thinking, do you think they should start with someone like a trainer because they're not experienced, because they're older now, right? Or is it okay they can do something on their own, you know? What do you suggest?
Now, this is where you need guidance.
Yeah.
Was at that age, apart from you, like we talked about, by that age, your muscle elasticity has gone for a toss.
Yeah.
So there are certain exercises that you need guidance
Yeah.
for you to execute them. And not only that, but also your sense of position in space. So how are you doing the exercise? Your form, your posture, that needs to be right on spot.
Absolutely. And there's fear as well.
There's
They
fear.
have the fear, you know?
There is a fear. I think maybe my parents, my mother up to now, she still wonders why I'm still going to the gym.
Yeah.
And at 52 years old, it's like, why do you have to keep training? But that's the reason why we are trained, to invest in ourselves so that we don't age quickly.
Yeah.
To invest in ourselves so that I can spend more time with my great kids. To invest in myself so that I don't suffer from this metabolic disease that we've been talking about. I'm not saying, people who are suffering from these diseases, yes, you can make your lives better by trying to live a healthy life. So I would want to stay away from having diabetes, obesity, because it's something that is within control of ourselves if one, we are on a very healthy diet and also you are exercising. So everyone wants to start training now, I would advise them to get a personal trainer.
Yeah.
So that they really guide you in how to do it, so that you are free from injuries,
Yeah.
which is the most scary thing from older people.
I agree.
They don't want to have knee issues when you're old. You don't want to have a lower back that is paining when you're old. So
Yeah.
with a trainer, they can guide you properly. And also there are certain exercises where you need to start small,
Yes.
but also you can progress slowly as you go.
Yeah.
Instead of just coming in and start pounding weights in the gym, and at that age, you can get injured easily. And that will take you 2 steps back instead of moving 1 step forward.
I agree. And since you were talking about, you want to be able to play with your grandkids
Yes.
and things like that. So do you think, is that the purpose? What is the purpose of you continuing your training? What is it that makes you show up every day? What is it?
Yeah. So when I started, I said I started when I was 28. It doesn't mean I was not doing anything prior to that. Prior to that, at high school, we used to have boys that were just lying around. So as a boy, you just pick them, do some bicep curls, push-ups, bench presses, all the pretty muscles, so that it's all about body image at that age. So that was my motivation, to look good.
Okay.
But when I started in 2000 to be very regular and consistent about it, I was now in a stage where I wanted to be very excellent at what I do, and also to be perfect in what I was doing. Though you cannot really get those things, but I was aiming towards that, because I wanted to be the best in that. I wanted to be the best bodybuilder in my country. That was my motivation, and that really pushed me to go that far. And I was so much disciplined that I was able to attain those goals of mine. Then now, at this age, body image.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to go there. Secondly, I'm no longer into competitions.
Yeah.
I'm done with that. So what's moving me? What's motivating me?
Yeah.
What's my purpose right now?
Yeah.
What do I want to achieve in this? Now the thing is, I have my son, I have my daughter. My oldest daughter is 20 years old. The youngest one is turning 12 this year. Now 12, by the time she gets to 20, God blesses her, maybe she gets married, I don't know, around that time, 25, 26, 28. Now she has a kid. By the time she has a kid, maybe when I'm able to play with that kid, maybe that's another 10 years where we can actually go out together with granddad. Maybe I would love to attend my grandkids consultation, parents teacher consultation. I'll be like, my boy, stay at home, I'll take my grandkid. That's my love, that's my passion. This is what is driving me right now. It's just to be able to spend time with my grandkids. So I'm looking at a minimum 15 years doing this. So that is what keeps me waking up every day. That is what keeps me putting my feet on the ground every day, to come to the gym to do it. That's what really motivates me. Now, let's say for some reason, which God forbid, my kids, they're involved in a tragic accident, they pass on.
Yeah.
Is my motivation gone? No, it's not. I'll stay disciplined and true to this because that is what really makes me go. I love what I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah.
I love it. So I'll keep doing it. But the fair fact that my grandkids are my motivation, that will motivate me.
And it's interesting to know how you said the motivation keeps changing, right? For me, I'm still in my, just touched my 40, so still that body image. I still have a little bit of that, right? Because you get the compliments, you get the motivation.
Exactly.
But for me, it was the fear of like aging, and then I could feel my stamina going. And people have this misconception that, you know, if you work out, you kind of get tired, but it's the other way around, right? And my stamina is some other level, and I think that is what brings me all the time to the gym. You know, there was no way I would wake up so early and show up, right? I never had discipline. But the way I feel, you know, I have to catch up with two boys who are like, they are like 10 and 6. How do I catch up with them? I go to work, I have a house to handle, and there was a time I would just be sleeping all the time. I would sleep 8-9 hours at night and during the day. And then now, you know, now I'm on for like 16-17 hours a day and I don't feel tired.
See, now that's the mystery of training. That's
It's
the
just,
thing, that's
it's
the thing.
amazing.
Every time when I'm done training, maybe I've said this to you, I've said all the guys, when I'm done training, I'm always calling out for Mike Tyson. I'm like, Mike, where are you at? Because I feel like I can actually go, you know, round for round with Mike Tyson. I feel so good that I can do anything in life. I believe I can do anything. Now, that is what you get in training every morning.
Yeah.
Your body, biologically, scientifically, is proved that when you train, your body releases certain hormones that makes you feel good.
That's interesting.
Endorphins,
That is so interesting.
dopamine.
Yeah.
Imagine all that is dumped into you in the morning
Yeah.
when everyone else is sleeping. So by the time everyone wakes up, which is also what I tell people, when everyone wakes up, we are no longer in the same space. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm in cloud 9. My head is above there. Like I'm in the penthouse in Burj Khalifa. I'm just feeling like I'm top of the world. It's amazing.
It is.
That is the thing that also really makes me feel good, because I feel like I have succeeded. One, if I wake up and I'm telling myself tomorrow I'm going to do legs,
Yeah.
then after that I'm going to do a bit of cardio running. If I wake up and fulfill those tasks,
Yeah.
so I've succeeded in what I've set for myself. I feel fulfilled psychologically
Yeah.
that I've succeeded in this. Now, that's a domino effect. That first task that you've set for yourself, you have done it, you've achieved it, you have succeeded. So what makes you think the rest of it you're not going to achieve? Now you start to believe, okay, one piece is going to fall after this.
Yes.
Everything that you've set aside for yourself, you're going to achieve.
Yeah.
Because you started to do well.
Yeah.
Mentally, I feel rewarded as well. Like what you're talking about, you feel good,
Yeah.
and your body is rewarded. You just feel like I can do anything, and really, it's amazing.
I think I agree with this, and I think we're going to wrap up for today, but in the next one we're going to continue talking about starting your day with a workout and what is the
Yes.
effect that it has, and you know, kind of.
And
how to-
remember, waking up is the most difficult thing to do.
Yes.
I can give kudos to her. I wake, I mean, it's crazy. We are not saying that you should wake up with that time, everyone, but in life, people say they don't have time. But I believe you always make time for the things that you love. Those guys are been telling me that every time you see them in a pub at 6 p.m.,
Yeah.
you see them doing shisha at 6 p.m.
Yes.
So where are you getting the time to do that? Why not do? Okay, let's say you continue with that. Why not wake up an hour earlier, 2 hours earlier?
Absolutely.
Even the gym is very quiet. It's not even busy at that time.
Yeah, I agree. I can't work out at a different time, and I think I would love to talk more about this, about waking up early, and you know, the hormonal effects, the other effects on your body when you start your day like that. So thank you very much, and we will be back.